Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a lot of really interesting bodybuilding updates. Before we get to them, as you guys just saw, I have a new sponsor, and it is the Blackstone Labs. To be honest, I still haven't tried any of their supplements yet because we just started today and they're gonna ship it over to me soon. I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I don't like, but a good thing is that I have a 15% discount code. So if you guys go to their website, the link is down below in the description of this video. Just type EVEN, that's it, capital letters, and you get a 15% discount for any supplements. They're gonna be bigger promotions and discounts at times, I'll let you guys know, but yeah, new sponsor Blackstone Labs. Now let's go with the video. Krizo. Now, if you guys didn't watch his latest YouTube video, go ahead and check it out. It's pure comedy, to be honest. Listening to Krizo talk, man, he cracks me up. I mean, it's a serious video in which he talks about what went wrong, what really happened, is he happy with his look, what he expected from this show, and that's what we're gonna talk about in this video as well. Now, as far as who Krizo had winning this show, let me play this for you.
To mi sa dosť nich sa mi, keď mám pravdu povedať, dosť nich sa mi ľúbil najviac, tak asi človek, ktorého som vždycky najviac hejtoval. Nie, že hejtoval, ale ktorého som sa mi nikdy neľúbil, a to je Walker. Walker sa mi asi s ním najviac ľúbi, aj ako tvrdosťou, aj pripravenosťou. Neviem, Derek mi príde troška mäkší.
Okay, another one. I guess I could make a part 3 video of bodybuilders reacting to Nick Walker's placement in this show. But yeah, as you can hear, Krizo also had Nick Walker winning. Guys, can you find anybody who is not biased, who's not working with the IBB, who actually thinks Derek deserved to win? I don't think there is anybody, really. But that's not gonna be the topic of this video. We have to move on from that topic. I milked it for what it's worth, but I don't want to overstretch it too much. Let's focus on Krizo right now. So he titled this video, What Really Happened? And basically what he says is that he is happy with the look overall. He says the feedback he received is that he was the most conditioned guy on that stage, which I don't know if I can agree with, but I don't want to necessarily disagree with that. I mean, he was really, like, his skin was really thin and he was conditioned in pretty much every area. And as far as, like, his back, I think he was really crisp in the back. I think his glutes could have been sharper, but were they improved? Were they bigger? Did he train them more? I think so. I think they were actually a little bit improved still. A weak point. You can't compare them to Nick Walker glutes or, I don't know, Derek Lunsford or the other guys, but I think they were a little bit bigger. Conditioning wise, yeah, they're shredded, but like the back also peeled. He wasn't posing well, but you know, he was dry, he was shredded, and like his hamstrings could be bigger, you know, they could be the size of Nick Walker's hamstrings, glutes as well, but you know, what he has was shredded, it was really dry. So yeah, I guess he brought it, and basically what he says, he wasn't expecting a win here. He actually kind of hoped for that 5th spot, and like after the prejudging, he came to his hotel room and he was like, I think I'm 5th, I'm happy with that, and I think the prejudging is over, and then they decided already who's gonna be 5th, who's gonna be in which place. Finals are just for the audience, and here is, for example, one funny moment with Krizo after the prejudging in the hotel room.
Konečne si láhnem s takým tým dobrým pocitom, ty kokos, že aspoň jedna súťaže za mnou. A môžem rozmýšľať už nad New Yorkom.
And that is exactly what he did. He finally relaxed after the prejudging and started thinking about the New York Pro, and that's why he was late for the finals. But they still got him in. These guys had to do 2 call-outs because of him, and they still gave Krizo that 5th spot. They did not punish him for being late and literally having no tan. I mean, he probably took a shower after the prejudging and he wanted to put one more layer of tan, but he was late, so he was really pale at the finals. But honestly, in like with his physique, it probably works better. Like, he looks maybe even more conditioned when he's not super tanned. And they put some oil on him really quickly, and he got on that stage and he won that 5th spot. So maybe what he said about the prejudging in the finals is actually true. You know, he says it's all decided after the prejudging and the finals are just for the audience. So maybe they actually decided that he's fifth and nothing could have changed that. Maybe if he didn't show up at all, but he showed up looking the way he looked and being as late as he did. And maybe actually they decided the same thing about Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford, and they just made it, appear like they're actually still fighting for that win, but they probably knew. I mean, if they knew about Krizo, maybe they knew about Nick Walker as well, that he lost this show against Derek Lunsford. But again, I'm starting with that topic. The point here is Krizo. As far as his look at this show, once again, conditioning was pretty good and he was big, and I would say he was improved in certain areas, but posing was definitely not one of them. And here is what he said about that.
To je moja Achillová päta. Prídem na stage, jeb. Normálne, ja keď si pozerám tie videá, ja sa na to nemôžem dívať. Ja stlačím ten chrbát, ja som taký vystresovaný v tom, vieš. Vieš čo, môže to byť kľudne dané len tým, že som dlho nepretekal a že tá hlava nie je nastavená. Prídem do New Yorku a môže to byť úplne iné. Mám plány, že pôjdem zapozovať si troška Weidenbergerovi a tak dúfam, že ma troška nakopne zas.
So as you just heard, he can't even look at the footage of himself posing at this show, and I'm really happy to hear that because he is aware that it wasn't good. At least he's aware, and he says maybe the reason for that is because it is his first show of the year after the injury, and he said he's going to be better at a New York Pro, and he says he posed much better at home in front of the mirror or the camera, so he knows he can do a better job, and I'm looking forward to actually watching him at a New York Pro. It's a smaller show, and he actually has a chance of, well, not winning the show, but he can be second. I think Krizo can be second at that show, and really that's all we can talk about as far as the New York Pro. Like, nobody's beating Nick Walker for sure. And we're gonna talk about the New York Pro in a second, guys. Before we get to that, I wanna show you one more funny moment with Krizo. So, like I said, he did improve his glutes a bit. I would say his back poses looked more complete. And yeah, I gotta say, he actually does look better with the tan on. This is from the pre-judging right here. This was better after all. So, did he improve his glutes and his back poses? I would say yeah, but here's what he thinks.
Tá riť je veľké.
Ale aj tá tvoja riť nebola až tak pozadu, myslím si, že to bolo jedno z najväčších zlepšení na tebe.
Aj? Tak bolo poznať, že som cvičil tú riť skurvenú. Tak vieš, no, Brazílčania ti nedajú vydýchnuť. Tak musíš. Brazílčanom sa páčia rite, tu sa chcem im zapáčiť.
I love it. This guy's always fooling around. He always jokes about his glutes and stuff like that. He's never really too serious. I don't know if you guys find him funny, but I love the guy. I love his personality. He's so funny. Anyways, now let's talk a little bit about the New York Pro that's coming up this weekend. So this right here is the official list, and I highlighted the most likely top 6. So we have Nick Walker, the heavy favorite. I don't think any of these guys really come close to him. Then we have Michael Krizo, Sas Hirati, Regan Grimes, William Bonac, and Colossus Ken. Now, who's going to play second here? I would say William Bonac is probably the favorite, especially now after the Pittsburgh Pro. Even though he was only one spot above Michael Krizo, he was still in a separate call-out. So the chances of Krizo beating Bonac, I don't know, man. Like, they're not really big. Last year, when Krizo lost to William Bonac, Bonac was not at his best. He improved significantly since then. And Krizo, I mean, he came back from an injury, so he does look good, but he's not, like, super improved. So I don't know if we can expect Krizo to really beat William Bonac. But then there is Sas Hirati, who, yeah, lost to William Bonac at the Detroit Pro, but he also improved for FIBO, and he might be even better at a New York Pro, so maybe he's gonna be second. If not second, can he be third? Can he beat Michael Krizo? I think that's a good battle. Who would I bet on? Probably on Sasan, to be honest. I don't know if Krizo can really beat this guy. Maybe his posing is a lot better and he gets even more conditioned or fuller. Then maybe. And then there is also Colossus Ken, who is definitely a wild card here, who can surprise everybody. I had him winning the New York Pro, but now after seeing Nick Walker and knowing that he's doing the New York Pro, I can't have him in my first. But do I have him in second? I mean, that's also a really bold prediction. I don't know if I can really say that. I mean, the other guys are really good. So if that happens, if he's not like 6th or 5th, I mean, that's going to be a surprise, but anything is possible. And then there is Regan Grimes, who just posted this photo. It's him at a 2018 New York Pro. Man, 2018, that's 7 years ago. I remember this like it was yesterday. God. So he competed at that show in classic physique, and he won. He qualified for the Mr. Olympia. At that moment, he wasn't sure if he should, pursue the classic physique division or open, and he won here. So he made his post and he says, 2018, I won the New York Pro in classic physique, and now I'm coming for the open bodybuilding title this weekend. Has there been someone win 2 divisions at a New York Pro before? And let me answer this question for him. No, there hasn't, and there's not gonna be. Not this year. It's not gonna be you, not Regan Grimes. Regan Grimes is not gonna win the New York Pro, not against Nick Walker. Maybe by some miracle he ends up in second, which I definitely cannot see. I don't see him beating William Bonac, Sashirati, Krizo, none of these guys. I don't see that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't imagine that. It's hard for me to imagine that he even beats Colossus Ken, but let's say he does that. Can he win like he says? Come on, no. I asked him a question in the comments, do you think you can beat Nick Walker? And of course, he didn't reply. What's he gonna say? I think I can? Come on, that would be ridiculous. He knows he can't. He's just saying this for the sake of saying it, for the sake of getting his subscribers and followers excited. But we all know, and he knows, it's very clear, he's not winning the New York Pro. I mean, to be honest, it would be amazing if he actually brought decent conditioning to this show, because, like last week, he said he's skipping the New York Pro most likely, and then the next day he said, I'm doing it. So we can't expect him to be in really good shape. Here is a photo, the most recent photo of him. His face does look drier, and his face is usually very puffy, especially in the off-season, and sometimes when he competes as well. Now it looks, lean enough, so maybe he's going to be in decent conditioning, and that's all he can hope for. We can hope for that he's actually in decent conditioning. Like, he's not going to be the most conditioned guy on that stage, not even close. He's not going to be super shredded. I don't see that happening, but let's just hope he doesn't embarrass himself on that stage, because in his most recent photos and videos, he looked like he was far behind the schedule. He looked like he was really not going to be ready for the New York Pro, and he felt the very same way about himself, about his physique, and then he decided at the last moment that his conditioning was changing day to day, and they're going to still do it. But does he think he's going to be spot on? No, I don't think it's going to be the case. And I don't think they believe that. If they did, they would probably post something. We don't have any really proper physique updates from Regan. We can't see his glutes, his hamstrings. We got this one little snippet of his back, which is his strongest point by far. So yeah, this is impressive, but it's only his back. We can't see his quads, his glutes, his hamstrings, his chest, and like his arms, and nothing like that. Like, only the back, which is good. But as far as conditioning, if you look at the lower back, it's not looking super crispy. I mean, for open bodybuilding, this is probably decent conditioning, like in the back itself. I don't think Nick Walker's back is much more conditioned than this, especially the lower back. But everything else, we don't know what it looks like. So maybe he can be like higher than 5th or 6th, but to win the show, no. And it's hard for me to imagine that he beats guys like William Bonac, Mikhail Krizo, and Sashirati. But if you guys think otherwise, tell me down below. Now here is what Sashirati looks like a couple of days out of the New York Pro. Can his conditioning be better than it was at FIBO? I don't know if he can get better than that. Like, it's gonna be good if he actually brings the same package. At Detroit Pro, he wasn't 100%, but at FIBO, I think he was. I don't know if he can be better than that, and I also don't know if he can actually maintain this freshness that he had at FIBO. So honestly, I'm hoping for the same package that he brought to the FIBO. If that is the case, I think it's gonna be a good battle, a good rematch between him and William Bonac. Who's gonna take it? Honestly, if Bonac is on, I would probably bet on Bonac. I mean, he's just too complete, too impressive, too thick in like many body parts, like the back especially, chest, shoulders, arms, quads, not so much. That's an area in which Sas can actually beat Bonac at, but that's probably it. As far as the rest of the physique, I think Bonac is just better. He has more details, more hardness, more fullness. Well, maybe not hardness. Sas is rock hard. You know, he is from Iran, actually. He's British, but he's from Iran, so he has that really gnarly look to his skin. Like, he's really dry when he's in condition. He's really hard. So he has that going for him and crazy quads, but, you know, as far as like the structure and the completeness, I think Bonac is better, and I don't know about Krizo. Like, Krizo is definitely a completely different bodybuilder. You know, these guys are all short. Krizo is tall and wide and big, and maybe he can gain some points based on that. But yeah, these guys are all really stacked up, like mini pit bulls. Like, they're all full of muscle, crazy fullness, crazy details, crazy hardness. So it's gonna be tough for a taller guy like Krizo in this lineup as well. Colossus Ken, yep, we got an update from him as well. It is from like 2 days out, a fresh update. What does he look like? What kind of conditioning is he bringing? I mean, even though these videos are probably like from different times in prep, it seems like he's bringing like really good condition. You know, it seems like he's going to be in shape. I think he's going to be in better condition than Regan. And as far as like the size, I think he's a shorter guy, but still, he has a lot of muscle on that frame. And as you guys saw lately, shorter guys do better most of the time in bodybuilding. Unless you look like Samson Dauda, you're gonna do better if you're shorter. Like, look at the Pittsburgh. You know, Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, Martin Fitzwater, and William Bonac. That's your top 4, all super short, small guys. And I think it's gonna be very similar at the New York Pro. You know, you're going to have Nick Walker, William Bonac, Sas Hierati, this guy, Colossus Ken, and then probably Regan and Krizo rounding up that top 6. I mean, I'm not sure exactly about Colossus Ken because I never saw him against these guys, but from what I'm seeing right here, I think he's going to be in that probably top 4, you know, with Bonac, Sas, and Nick Walker. And out of the top 4, I would have the other 2 taller guys, Krizo and Regan. Maybe Krizo can take out Colossus Ken, but I don't know, guys. Like, what I'm seeing right here is like really freaking impressive. This guy looks absolutely insane. I think he's the future of this sport. If he doesn't do really well at this show, he's going to do really well at the next show, and I think he's going to be one of the more dominant bodybuilders in the future. Is this going to be an easy win for Nick Walker? It absolutely is going to be. I don't think any of these guys come close to the level of Nick Walker. Nick Walker is the potential Mr. Olympia winner. The other guys, they're all, you know, the second call-out guys. Nick Walker, we got this physique update from him, just training his back, his skin looking very thin. In the caption of this video, he says the goal is to get better for the next show. Can he actually get better for the New York? I mean, it's only 1 week in between. I don't know if he's going to be able to nail it again. But even if he's at like 80% of what he brought to Pittsburgh, I think he's still winning the show. He probably needs to be at like 70% or even 60% to lose against the other guys. I think he's that good, actually. And I don't think that's happening this weekend. We'll see how well will he be able to peak. I'm really curious to actually see that. How well will his coach, Kyle Wilkes, be handling this situation? I mean, shows back to back. I don't know, guys. I mean, the formula is very simple. You know, lose water, deplete, and carb up, and like just repeat the process you did for the peak week. It's usually very simple, but you just never know. Like, sometimes guys may hold more water because they dehydrated severely for the week before, and then you need to manipulate the diuretics and the water consumption and the electrolytes and everything. So it's not going to be super easy. If he had 2 weeks to let his body rest and recoup and then do a peak week fresh, it would be better this way it's gonna be tricky, but if Kyle Wilkes is a good coach, actually, he's gonna bring Nick at 100%, which is most likely going to be the scenario, but, you know, there is a big possibility of him being at like 90%, which I think is going to be more than enough to win the New York Pro. And for the end of this video, I got a little treat for you guys. Who's in for some drama? So we got a comment. Somebody sent me this screenshot. By the way, why is this person having their iPhone on battery saver at 70%? Never mind. So they sent me this screenshot of Martin Fitzwater commenting on Nick Walker. So somebody actually asked him, why did you get so happy on stage when Nick got announced second place? And that is the case. Check it out once again. I know Martin lost to Nick last year at the New York Pro, so I guess that was the start of a rivalry, but I thought these guys actually liked each other. I mean, I know Nick actually said that he liked Martin, you know, because he was so passionate about bodybuilding. I thought these guys were cool, but apparently Martin doesn't like Nick. I know for a fact that Nick doesn't like Derek, because I saw an actual message of him saying that, but as far as Derek not liking Nick, I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea. Derek doesn't speak about that kind of stuff a lot, but yeah, I know Nick didn't like Derek, and I thought Nick and Martin were cool, even though they were rivals, but apparently, no. Not just based on the reaction, but you can just read this comment right here. He says, because I like Derek and his physique 10 million times more. So Martin actually doesn't like Nick. He likes Derek and his physique 10 million times more. So there you go, guys. If you didn't know this, now you know. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more content and the best coverage of the New York Pro, subscribe to my channel. If you guys need supplements, go to the Blackstone website, buy whatever you need, and use the code IVAN for 15% discount. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.